everybody, I'm Tasha with the Major Change Group. And y'all, the other day I was walking with a friend of mine, and I think I was saying that I wanted to apply for a credit card because I'm trying to get me a new airline credit card. Y'all, I'm really thinking about applying for like 2 or 3 credit cards in one day. But she was just like, she wanted to apply for the American Express green card. And I was like, what? I was like, I got the American Express green card. And I'm just like, girl, I'm pretty sure you can apply for it. And so I was just like, well, what's your credit score? Is it over at least a 700? And so she was like, yeah. And I was like, girl, you probably can go ahead and apply for it. And so in this video, I wanted to talk about what are some of the things that we should look at before we apply for a credit card. Let's get into it. Now, you can use this for any credit card that you are thinking about applying for. But since she had specifically said the American Express green card, that's why I said that one. Now, y'all, I had recently got that credit card because I had downgraded the American Express gold card for the green card. And y'all, I'm really liking that credit card because one, I was able to get the clear because they have a clear credit for $209. Y'all, I had went ahead and signed up for that clear. I ain't never got a credit so fast after I had purchased something. I was like, man, that came so quick. But when we are looking to apply for credit cards, there are a few things that we should consider before we apply. Now, the first thing that I asked her was, did she know what her credit score was? And she was like, yes, it was a 700. Now, you'll have to let me know in the comments, when was the last time you pulled your credit score? Y'all, I probably take a look at my credit score ever so often, especially my experience score, because I do like to go onto the experience site. But we do want to pull it from all 3 of the credit bureaus. So we got TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And most of the time, I would say when I apply for credit cards, they usually pull from TransUnion or Experian most of the time. But of course, there are going to be some that pull from Equifax as well. So we want to pull our credit scores to take a look to see, okay, am I at least over a 700? But let me know, what credit score do you think that you have to have before you can apply for a credit card? Now, with the American Express credit cards, I definitely think over a 700, you really want to make sure to have a higher score, especially if you are trying to get a high credit limit. Because see, the thing is, do you just want to get approved for a credit card or do you want a high limit? Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to pull our credit report, because our credit report is made up of 5 components. We have our payment history, our credit card utilization, our length of credit, our new credit, and our credit mix. And I would say when we are applying for credit cards, really every aspect is going to be important, but I would say probably our payment history is going to be very important. So that's why we should take a look at our credit report to see, are we reporting any late payments on our credit report? And then the next thing is going to be our credit card utilization, because if we have high credit card utilization, then sometimes creditors are not going to want to extend us new credit because we have high credit card utilization. But you can take a look at this video where I was talking about how we can make sure to report 7% or under. And I was talking about a way that you can calculate your credit card utilization. So check out this video because that's very important, because we really want to report 7% or less, because when you go into the experience site, if we want to be higher achievers, the lower the better. So 7% or less is the way to go. And I would say the third thing that's going to be very important is going to be, how many inquiries do we have on our credit report? Because if we have a lot of inquiries on our credit report, then sometimes we can get denied. So let's say with Chase, most of the time they have that 5 and 24. And so if you are applying for a Chase credit card and you have a lot of inquiries on there, then it might be a possibility that you get denied. So you just want to make sure that you don't have a lot of inquiries on there. 2 other things that they're going to be taking a look at when we are applying for credit is our length of credit and our credit mix. And so our length of credit is going to be, well, how long have you had a credit card? Now, when you go into the experience site, they're going to say anything between 8 and 10 years, that's going to be excellent. But I would say anything over 3 years will probably be pretty good. So let's say you have no credit or a thin profile. Before you apply for an American Express credit card or a Chase or a Citi credit card, possibly see about getting a secured credit card. So let's say the Discover It, they have a secured credit card, and even with Navy Federal, they have a secured credit card, and they have pledge loans. So you can see there are different ways for you to be able to start off kind of small, and then let's say after 6 months or so of having that secured credit card, the creditor might go ahead and graduate that card to an unsecured credit card. And that's where we want to be. So really take a look at it that way before just jumping into the unsecured credit cards. Now, let's say you don't have time to be doing all that, even though I think that it's very important for us to pull our credit and check our credit report, kind of often, just to see what's going on. If you feel like you don't have time to do that, you can always go on to the bank's websites. And let's say with American Express, they have where you can apply with confidence to where it's not going to be a hard pull and it's going to be a soft pull. And so it's like a pre-approval, so where you can go ahead and put your information in there. It will let you know which credit card you can approve for, or most likely will be able to approve for. And then you can accept or deny it. Because y'all, this one time I had went on to Capital One because I don't have any Capital One credit cards. And I really wanted to get one. I want to say it was the Venture credit card, because I wasn't ready for no Venture X credit card. And I was just like, my credit profile should be able to get me approved for that, right? So I went on there and I did the pre-approval. And y'all, I was not pre-approved. But I'm just like, what? They will not pre-approve me? That's crazy. Y'all, why did I still apply for the credit card? But y'all, they denied me for that credit card, but then approved me. I don't know what credit card it was, because this was some time ago, but they approved me for another credit card for $3,000. And I was like, no, I don't want that credit card. So I declined it. And y'all, I was just so mad a little bit, because then I ended up having that hard inquiry on my credit report. So it's like, don't do that. So, but sometimes I like to run little tests and see what I can and can't do. So I was okay with it. But let's say if you have a thin profile, because with the inquiries, that's going to be 10% of our credit score. So if I have let's say a 680 or less, I wouldn't want to play around with it. But like right now, my credit score average is about 767. So most of the time I'll try different things to see, what I can get, just running tests. But it's always good to check our credit report so that we can see where we're at. But then also when we're checking our credit report, we can see, well, what do we need to approve? And if we're trying to increase our credit score fast, the quickest way for us to increase our credit score is by tackling our credit card utilization. Let's say if you already have, some credit cards. So if you have high credit card utilization, if you can get that low, then that's good. And then checking our payment history is going to be very important. But all in all, you can always start with a secured credit card, and that's a good way to do it as well. But let me know, what are you thinking? And which credit card are you going to be applying for next? So y'all, I'm thinking about applying for me 1 or 2 credit cards. And so I'm really thinking about applying for that Delta Sky Miles. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it. Or the Alaskan or Hawaiian credit card. So we will see. I'm just trying to see which one is going to be better for me. But let me know in the comments, which credit card are you thinking about? Well, I hope that you found this video helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time, make sure that we got our finances in order for 2026. And so you'll have to go and check out my digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. Y'all, I'm very excited about it. You have your monthly budget, you have your debt repayment and your debt tracker. I'm very excited. I added a bingo savings planner to where you can put a few other things that you're trying to do. Possibly you're trying to save 1,000 or 5 or 10,000. So you can put that in there. Maybe you want to get you a high yield savings, possibly open up a Roth IRA. So you can put your savings goal in the boxes and just mark them off as you complete it. But then also you can always go over to my website and get my free budget and debt repayment template. And I even added the bingo savings for that as well. So you can drop down in the description and go over to my website or my Etsy shop.